Okay. Good morning. Good afternoon. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, boys and girls. How are we all doing today? Fantastic, fantastic. Okay, so today we will be talking about blood pressure. What is okay? And excuse me. Why is it so slow? What is this? Hold on. Oh, at 100% CPU utilization. Yeah, I know what's using it, so we're just going to not worry about that for now, I guess. I wish that were how it worked. I could just like snap my finger and conjure up more CPU resources. That would be fan bleeding tastic. No, 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 no. So yeah, our this is actually sponsored by our year one class two corporation with a huge thank you to the year one class two corporation for doing so. You know, we had discussed this yesterday, and they did so because there was a general concern about some of you lot being unable to look after your own health. And I just want to mention that. I just want to make sure you guys know, like, that some of you have raised fantastic children. Just commending, let's say, I will commend year one class two for taking interest in the health of senators. Now, I appreciate that in some ways the year one class corporation is doing this because they want to see me make fun of you lot for being, you know, fat, old, sedentary, whatever. Um, but they are to be commended nonetheless because they could have asked me to make fun of you in a whole bunch of other ways, but they chose to do so in a way that is at least mildly useful for you, right? So let's give them, you know, a nice thing. Anyway, so today we're going to talk about that's fine. Today we're going to talk about blood pressure, what it is, what it does, how to deal with it, etc., etc. I'm gonna I'm gonna try to keep it within, you know, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Um, there is a lot to talk about, but there are also sort of very big generalizations that we can do, right? Okay, so let's start with blood vessels. Oh, my face just died. Why would you do this to me? Let's try this. Like this. Here, I have to hit that button again. There we go. Okay. That's a good question. Why am I not starting at the heart? Because the heart technically doesn't determine blood pressure. The heart pumps basically in the same strength, and it is the size of our vessels that determines blood pressure, which is why well, there are a whole bunch of issues with vasoconstriction, all of that. We'll get into that. Okay, so your blood vessels can look like this. Can you see these lines? No, you can't. Which is actually kind of topical. You're not supposed to be able to see these lines. Uh, where is my stroke? I should put this. Put that 2, 1. Just so we can see it. You can barely see it, right? You have blood vessels that look like this. These are called capillaries. Oh, that's a long one. You have blood vessels that look like this. These are called arterioles. Well, I mean, whatever. It doesn't. Blood vessels that look like. Let's go with 7. This. These are called arteries, and then you have blood vessels that look like. Let's go with 10. These are major arteries, right? So the idea of the blood system, I'm sure we all know it, is that it's a network that distributes blood that comes out of the heart into either the lungs or the rest of the body, right? In a normal person, the heart is bigger on the left because it's bigger on the left because the left side is what pumps blood into the rest of the body, and it's slightly smaller on the right because the right side pumps blood into the lungs, and that reoxygenates the blood, right? Cool. Any questions? Um, actually, did I get those? Doesn't matter. Not important. One side pumps the blood into the body, one side pumps the blood into the lungs, and that's the key, right? Because as the blood leaves, let's do this. As the blood leaves the lungs, not lungs, the heart. Oh, why it's so slow? It's so slow. It's unforgivably slow. As the blood leaves the also for reference, yes, I am using Affinity Designer 2, which is sort of a new version of Affinity, and it's beautiful on my Mac. It's not quite as beautiful on a computer on a PC that's been like abused vis-a-vis resources. So as you can see, as the blood leaves the heart, let's put on a little heart. The finger heart now. So as the blood leaves the heart, it goes into all parts of the body, and as it goes into all parts of the body, it gets smaller and smaller until it becomes a capillary bed, and then it becomes bigger again as it sort of as it gets collected in the veins, and then that gets passively pushed back into the heart. Does that make sense? Yeah, of course it makes sense. Good. No, let me do this stuff because this is important. Capillary bed. And so this capillary bed exists in lots of places. The key places that it does exist in is the lungs, for obvious reasons, the brain, all tissues, right? And this is very important because it really is at the capillary bed where the oxygen that's inside the brain, inside the blood, gets pushed into the tissue, and then the carbon dioxide is collected from the tissue. So without such, we would all not be alive. Yeah, that's fantastic, isn't it? Let's set this to 35. 30. I'm doing the V thing again. Yeah, because V is what changes my there we go. V is what changes oh, actually. Nope. V is what changes vector mode to movement mode. Anyway, that's not right. So why does blood? What is blood pressure? Blood pressure is the amount of stress. Ooh. Something got caught on my. Blood pressure is the amount of pressure felt by the vessels as the heart continuously pumps out more blood. And how does this work? Well, think about it this way, right? If I have a pipe, which really is what the blood vessel is, if I'm feeding a larger diameter pipe, water from a larger diameter pipe into a smaller diameter pipe, i.e. from here to here, if I want to go at the same rate, like volume per second, that I was going in this one, then by definition, the flow of the blood in the smaller pipes have to be faster, right? So when you have a smaller diameter of the pipe, your flow has to be faster so that you can flow enough volume per second through the pipes. I think that is self-explanatory. If you need help understanding this, see me after class and I will make fun of you. It's perfectly fine, right? Like that you don't understand. I will still make fun of you, and then I will explain. Okay. I'm going to mute year 1 class 3 because I don't want to deal with you right now. Anyway, so when pressure gets higher and higher, when these vessels get constricted, is that what a stroke is? Yes, we'll get to that. When these vessels anywhere along here gets constricted, that means there's suddenly the opening is tiny. So suddenly this pipe that was supposed to be like this, if it looks like that, oh my god. I'm just gonna leave this here. Just you can see that. So if the vessel that's supposed to be that thick suddenly is that thick, I'm sure you guys can understand that suddenly the pressure behind the constriction is going to be much higher, right? Actually, let me do this. Let's zoom in. I will draw a white circle with fill and no stroke. No, that's wrong. I want it to be pure white. And let's do this. Let's try this. Anyway, okay. So when we have a constriction like this, right? Suddenly all of the blood that used to flow through here at a certain speed now has to flow much faster. But obviously that's impossible, right? Like if it or okay, it's not impossible, but it's very difficult. And so what happens is as the blood is trying to force itself through here, pressure starts building up here, right? And let's do this. Let's do red fill that. Move. Yeah. Good. Good. Okay. So so we see what happens when you try to constrict a blood vessel, and it causes blockage, and the blockage increases blood pressure upstream. And this kind of constriction can happen anywhere. It can happen here, right outside the heart. It can happen over here. It can happen over here. All perfectly sort of. I don't want to say normal, but this is all able to happen. It can happen in the brain. Exactly, and then you have a brain hemorrhage, right? Yeah, you have blood escaping into the brain. And blood is. Let's put it this way: blood is actually not a good thing to have outside of your blood vessels. It's very important that we understand. It's not good when it's outside of the blood, except in one area, which we will talk about in a few moments, which is the kidney. But that's a whole other show. So does that kind of make sense? Like when we have this kind of issue, when we have this constriction, we get a blockage, and that blockage, not fantastic. Okay. Right, exactly. And this high blood pressure isn't just local. It is very much an issue that happens throughout the system, because the system yes, it's sort of all remote compared to the heart, and what happens in one part doesn't immediately affect what happens over there. But these types of problems, this problem of constriction, isn't one that happens overnight. It is something that happens very slowly, and so like as constrictions in one place get bad, that pressure is distributed to the rest of the network as well, right? Anyway, the heart pumps harder. Yes, whatever, all of that. And your capillary beds will actually respond by constricting, just so they don't do anything stupid. That's all not really the point here. The point, or I mean, all of it is the point, but also all of it is quite besides the point, because you lot are too unintelligent to be able to understand this. No, no, no. Okay, so can we move on? Can we move on? I want to talk about the brain. Yes, we're going to talk stroke, and we're going to talk about the other one, which is the kidney, because the kidney is the other place where actually high blood pressure does huge amounts of damage. Can we talk about the kidney? We can talk about the kidney first. Everyone knows what a stroke is. Are you sure? I'm not so sure about that, but okay, let's talk about the kidney. Okay, so everyone knows what the kidney does. The kidney filters fluid. Yes? Yes, obviously. The kidney filters the bad stuff out of our blood so that we are able to excrete it within urine. And that's fine. That's fine. Just let me finish drawing this, and then we'll get to it. Hold on. Be with you in a second. Okay, no, stop. I'm going to mute you all at this point. Anyway, okay. Okay, so this is well, not yet. Um, let's say this is a single capillary, actually. Not really a capillary. Let's call it a blood vessel. Okay, the blood vessel ends at a thing we call the glomerulus, which again is not really important, um, but we should talk about it. So let me do that. Paste. Move that over there. We'll do a flip, and then we'll do a vertical flip. There we go. And we'll offset that just a little bit, just a little bit. There we go. There we go. Fantastic. Fantastic. And we'll color all of this. Let's color it a nice dark blue, shall we? Or, yeah, let's color it. Oh, let's color this red. Why didn't I color this red? Let's color this red. Dark red. There we go. Okay, so what happens in the glomerulus is that there is a disruption within the, well, maybe not a disruption, an opening within the blood vessel. And there are a whole bunch of cells here. And what they do is they filter out bad things and they push it on towards the kidney. And so this is that kidney, or this is technically part of the kidney. It's a dramatic dramatic oversimplification, but essentially this goes towards the kidney, right? Like essentially the blood comes, a third of the blood is what filtered every pass, something along those lines. And it does so by essentially opening itself up inside the glomerulus, and this specialty cells within here filter out the crap, including actually some water, and then the kidney itself does water recovery depending on salt content and all that, but that's not really that important. But the point that I want to mention is this. Let's take that, let's put it here. Let's turn this into 30. And the point what that we want is this process is blood pressure. This entire process, yes. Uh-huh. No wonder you're a lawyer. Look, you're so intelligent. How can you be so intelligent? Wow. Sorry, bro. Anyway, the point is that this filtration process is blood pressure dependent. Ish. And so when we have high blood pressure, one over here. Yeah, we're at 21 minutes. We're not going to talk about the brain today. You guys know what a stroke is. Can I use it? No, I cannot. Let's take. High blood pressure means that some serious shit is about to go down. Here, right? And in fact, what actually happens is that this entire thing can blow up. Like the entire glomerulus, if the blood pressure is too high, it can blow up. We have a whole bunch of diseases. I have no idea what they're called. I can't remember for the life of me. Not strictly important in the grand scheme of our conversation, because for the sake of our conversation, all you really need to know is if your blood pressure is really high, it can and it will destroy your body's ability to filter out toxins. Well, some of it will be excreted, in other words. Absolutely. But really, the kidney is the first and foremost place that does this. And if you do this, if you have too high of blood pressure, it does make this process much less efficient, and you are actually going to make yourself sick. Yeah. Okay, fine. Let me look on Wikipedia. Do you spell it? Glomerulus. Yes, it is. Yeah. Let's insert it in here. Where is it? It's right here. Okay. So let's zoom in. This is what I'm talking about. Let's give it a quick attribution. yen.wikipedia.org. There we go. Tiny. Oh. So this is what I'm talking about, right? Like the idea that your vessels, they become opened up, and then they interconnect with the what's called the Bowman's capsule. Yes, the glomerulus is here, and blah 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 blah. Is that the? Okay, so maybe I shouldn't have drawn it like this. Whatever, you guys know what I mean. Essentially, blood flows in, is processed by cells around it, and then flows back out. Okay, happy, good. Oh, fuck's sakes, guys. And yes, exactly. If this bleeds and then it gets blood all over you don't want to get blood all over your Bowman's capsule, right? Like that'd be silly. Here's the other thing. Capillary beds are the first thing to go when you have high blood pressure, because they are so tiny. Right? Like when we see sort of people who sit for a long time, and there's blood that's been accumulating in their legs, you see swelling. That swelling is usually okay if you can take care of it as quickly as possible. But if during that process, the blood actually clots, then you have huge issues because it blocks all sorts of all sorts of veins. But then it also moves upstream and blocks capillary beds and arteries, and that is terrible, right? You do also see capillary beds being broken, right? And okay. Let me last 2 minutes quickly. What examples, right? You want class two examples? Examples, good. Um, so examples of what can do this. Well, alcohol. One thing that we know is that there are people that get really red after they have alcohol, or people that blush when they have alcohol, and that's sort of a vasodilation effect. And what that really means is alcohol tends to expand, not necessarily vasodilation, but it dilates the capillaries, it dilates arteries, veins, and that's part of the relaxing effect of alcohol, right? So when it does that, especially in the face, you see people being red, you see people being warm, and that is because suddenly there's more blood that's flowing through and closer to the surface of their skin, which means that their temperature sensors are working fine, right? Because obviously we don't have temperature sensors deep within our body. Most of the sensors are closer to the surface because for I think obvious reasons, we need to know what our surface temperature is so that we know whether we should be like go hide in a cave or something, or cover yourself with leaves, whatever. When we were barbarians. I'm not going to respond to that comment by the Year 1 Class 1 Corporation. Actually, I will, but I will only give the answer of yes, that's the reason, but no, we're not going to talk about it on stream. Let's see, what else? When we are afraid, our body's innate fight or flight response does a very interesting vasoconstriction, because the moment that our vessels are constricted, it raises blood pressure, and that actually pushes more blood up to the brain. And when blood is pushed up to the brain is better able to see what's going around it, is better able to react, it's faster to fight, all that good stuff. Hence why it's called the fight or flight response, right? Like that almost primal thrill of the body getting itself ready to fight. And that is a thing. That is a thing. And I'm going to ignore half of you now. Oh my god. Is it real? Can't see me, but I'm actually like holding my face in my hands and just like going, oh, when does this world come to, like that kind of stuff. Guys, and girls. Actually, is it 50-50? I think. Why are you all such. You know what? I'm not saying. I'm not even going to say it. Thank you very much for watching. In conclusion, please download Firefox, please don't do Chrome, and I shall see all of you tomorrow. Maybe, if I feel like it. No, I'm actually contractually obliged to feel like it on Friday and Sunday, and probably tomorrow or Saturday. We'll see. Okay, cool. Yes, thank you. Bye. Oh, sorry, I didn't get ready to click the button. Okay, now I'm ready to click. Yes, we're done. Bye. No. Oh right, wink. Yes, I'm down Firefox, down to Chrome, and let's do the right art today.